Hello, this is Starlight with another video installment, and today I would like to discuss Vedic astrology, specifically the nakshatras. So I invite you today to learn more about this subject, as this is what I've been called to do is expand um, my understanding and learning of the stars and how that affects us in our daily lives, past, present, future. So, um, the 360-degree zodiac is divided into 27 nakshatras, each spanning an arc of 13 degrees and 20 minutes, while the sun based zodiac signs reveal our personality and ego expression. The moon based nakshatras unveil our subconscious patterns, emotional responses, and inner workings of our consciousness. So, in the vast celestial map that guides Vedic astrology, the nakshatras, or lunar constellations, are among the most ancient and vital components. While the zodiac signs divide the sky into 12 parts, nakshatras offer a more nuanced lens through which astrologers interpret personality, destiny, and that touchy subject, karmic patterns. So we can think of nakshatras as the soul of the chart. So in this video, I will be focusing on the 19th nakshatra known as the Mula nakshatra. And this has it owns the piece of sky residing in Sagittarius at 0 degrees to 13 degrees, 20 minutes. So as I said earlier, each nakshatra owns 13 degrees. It's like the real estate, right? This is the real estate that this nakshatra resides in. So the address to this nakshatra is between 0 degrees and 13 degrees, 20 minutes of Sagittarius. And what's really interesting is this nakshatra is known for representing the innermost core, because Sagittarius and also the stars that comprise the Mula nakshatra located in Scorpio are closest to the galactic center. And as we can see here, the Mula nakshatra is the innermost core, also known as the foundation star. And the Mula constellation, the Mula nakshatra initiates spiritual transformations. It offers insight into unseen realms and shares magical abilities to achieve higher positions. And you can see here, it has the power to destroy. So this is often feared. So what it does is it strips everything material from this domain. So you see how it gets to the innermost core. You have to strip everything that is not real to get to the innermost core. And there's, religions that believe that, we are just like a seed of God. There's that spark of God inside each of us. So what this nakshatra does is it strips away all of the falseness. It strips away stuff from the material realm. It's treacherous, and chaotic. And when you're experiencing this, it could feel like the whole world is against you. You kind of have to let go of control. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, as it's stripping everything, it's revealing your inner essence, your innermost core. So when I was channeling this energy, I was imagining myself naked in the Garden of Eden in front of God. So it's like returning to the Garden of Eden and you're stripped naked. There's nothing but you, which is a spark of God. We see here the deity that rules over this nakshatra is Niditi, and that's also known as the goddess Kali. So she is the goddess of destruction, but in order to transform, it has to be destroyed first. So death and transformation, that's where we get the scorpion, the stars. There's 9 stars in the constellation of Scorpio that is part of this lunar nakshatra. And we can see here, it is hard, it's dreadful, it's sharp, but it's supposed to be a total transformation. And, sometimes you have to be stripped of everything to learn that, yeah, your job isn't who you are. How much money you have in the bank isn't who you are. All these things, layers of things that we hide our innermost person, our soul in, is not who we truly are. And it could be really scary losing these things that you were told give you value when they're not of value. You are of value. The God in you is what's valuable. So having to learn, that your title doesn't mean anything. That's not who you are. Those are things that we get caught up in this matrix. And simplicity is really great, because then the innermost you gets to shine in that place. So we can see that the foundation star is harsh. It's inquiry, it's magic, it's awakening, it's penetrating, it's losses, herbal medicine, transformation, reversals. And so as you can see on the right bottom hand side of this, we have the 4 padas that are included in the Mula Nakshatra. And the pada means foot or steps. Every nakshatra has 4 steps. Due to the moon's permanence in a single nakshatra for one day, the padas correspond to the natural divisions of the day. So we have sunrise, midday, sunset, and midnight. A pada is the same as a navansha and equals 3 degrees 20 minutes each. The first pada always falls in a fire sign. That's why we see number 1 is Aries. And that first pada, the fire sign, is the energy of creation. The second pada is Earth. We have Taurus, and that's the energy of sustenance. Then we have the third pada is always going to be in an air sign, and in this case, it is Gemini. And Gemini is where the energies are more intellectualized. The fourth pada is in water sign, and this one is Cancer. And this is the energy in the fourth pada is introspection, spiritual transformation, or profound psychological transformation. So, and here's another visual aid to learn more about the Mula Nakshatra, the foundation star. So the ruling planet of the Mula Nakshatra is the planet K2. The symbol is reticulated roots. So we're getting into, like subconscious here. the root of the matter, your essence. Again, it's ruled by the deity Niruti. Um, the animal here is the male dog. Trimurti is Brahma, to create. The element here is Vayu, air. The bird is a red vulture. Trees, Salai, black Donmar. And what's really fun is when you look at these individual aspects here, and we can see and draw further information, like the energies here that make up this nakshatra. So also, just to add to that, the Mula nakshatra's lucky stone or vibrational match is tiger's eye. The lucky colors are, of course, brown and yellow. So there's just some interesting tidbits of information related to the Mula nakshatra. And you may be wondering, why am I bringing this up right now? Well, there is a specific reason. Since we want to look at it through the lunar lens, in terms of astrology. So we know that the 3IATLAS will be closest to the Earth on December 19th, which is an auspicious time. In relation to the Mula Nakshatra, the new moon will be in the Mula Nakshatra around December 19th through the 20th. So this signifies a powerful time for deep inner transformation, rooting out old patterns, as we know Mula represents root, and confronting hidden truths, aligning with the galactic center, often linked to the goddess Kali, Niriti, of endings and rebirth. And oh my goodness, has it been painful, right? So basically, we've had goddess Kali. She's torn down everything, stripped it away. It's almost like the character on Kill Bill. I can't remember her name, but her husband kills her, leaves her for dead, removes her baby out of her womb, and then everyone just turns their back on her. So she's just been stripped away of everything. There is nothing left but her, who she is, her inner essence, her core. So that's kind of like what I've been feeling like with this energy. And it is in my birth chart as well. My rising sign is in Mula Nakshatra. So I know this all too well. But there's also resilience in this. The lesson is resilience. Going back to the basics, I think that's been kind of like a theme for us in general, is going back to the basics. We've added all this unnecessary garbage and crap to our lives that have just made it so hard to live. Do we really need all this stuff? No, this stuff is just, it's stuff that distractions of who we are and why we're here. Spiritual transformation. We're here to get back to the roots, family, the earth, getting into the roots of the earth, loving Mother Gaia, being appreciative of everything she gives us, and just stripping away all the unnecessary crap that has made life so difficult. Maintaining this false facade. Money is not the most important thing. Time is important. You can't get it back. And investments, putting our time and energy into things that actually feed our soul and give back. So, with this energy here, it's encouraging intense spiritual work, self-care, what is self-care? It's not going out and spending hundreds of dollars on crap. That's not gonna feed our soul. So we're investigating into life's core meanings, and the root, the center, the innermost core, and the themes are, again, destruction, endings, deep research, uncovering secrets, transformation, roots, seeds, medicine, and going beyond the superficial. And just going back to 3IATLAS, so we know that its origin is from the Galactic Center. So how crazy is it that it's hailing from the Galactic Center, and now when it's making its closest approach to Earth on the 19th, we're just so we will just so happen to be entering the new moon in Mula Nakshatra. So, if it is truly the messenger of God, our higher self, then this is the message I am receiving right now. This revelation I had today, this information that came into my field of awareness. So what is also interesting, at this time, the new moon in Mula Nakshatra from the 19th through the 20th of December. So it's actually going to be the last new moon of the year. So that's really important, because this is the energy we're going to be ending the year with. So basically, it's fertilizing the soil for the year to come. So, if we understand the importance of this spiritual transformation that the universe is nudging us towards, then we can definitely hit the ground running. So the supermassive black hole located at the center of our galaxy is presided by the Dark Mother Kali, the goddess of endings and transformation. She's often misunderstood, as treacherous, which, yeah, like I said, the movie Kill Bill, she was beat up, left for dead, but she transformed all of that and turned that into her strength, right? So she took all the knives out of her back and she put those in her arsenal. So definitely very transformative, but in a kind of treacherous way. So we must really respect this energy, and honor it for what it truly is. So to add to the transformative mood, exactly on the day when these three planets will meet in Mula Nakshatra, so Venus will also be crossing the Gandanta between sidereal Scorpio and sidereal Sagittarius, from Jayastha to Mula Nakshatra. So the last new moon of the year will be the meeting of the Sun, Moon, and combust Mars in the Mula Nakshatra, the galactic center. And what's really interesting is that Mars, the planet of action and competition, is in Mula Nakshatra within Sagittarius. It's been there since December 7th, and it will stay there till December 25th. So the nakshatra is associated with bare essentials and stripping away excess, as we have discussed. Mula's symbol of a root is connected with simplicity and austerity, where you fight for a cause or ambition purely for its own sake, and not for ego or acclaim. Keep this principle in mind in your work, where recognition only arrives after the battle. This nakshatra should be treated with respect, as its Shakti or unique gift, the power to ruin and destroy, may see you diving into the clearing away stage even before new conditions come in. So, there's this this meme in Spanish that I've been channeling for years now, and it's like a mother, and she's saying "es por tu bien," which means it's for your benefit, your welfare, your good. It's for your good, right? So although it may seem like you're being punished, this is all going to be alchemy here. Like, just trust in the alchemical process that the Mula Nakshatra is bringing for us. It will leave us gifts if we traverse and understand how to traverse. So with Mars, of course, we got to be careful with the warlike energy, right? So just control that fiery energy. So here's just a recommendation. It's better to plant a new root of ambition or build a project from the ground upwards and watch it grow. Mars in a Jupiter-ruled sign. So we know Jupiter is the sign of expansion. Everything's big in Jupiter. So that's going to expand the energy of Mars. So also receives the gaze of retrograde Jupiter all through this transit, which sees you with a rush of enthusiasm and you operating on a kind of intuitive certainty. You are in a competitive mode, but play fair with a sense of fun that loves to indulge your adventurous streak. And if you're like me and you're new to Vedic astrology, this is a really great website that I came across today. It's called astromitra.com. And it gives you the nakshatra location for the planets. So, okay, so let's fast forward to December 19th. That's when 3IATLAS will be making its closest approach from the Galactic Center. And how funny is that the sun, okay, sorry, I had to change the location here because I'm not in India, so that matters. So what we have here is we're going to have the sun, the moon, and Mars all in Mula Nakshatra. And this chart is really cool because it tells you the completion rate into that nakshatra. It gives you the padas, and it also gives you the Lord, K2, right, is the ruling planet of the Mula Nakshatra. So we get to see, here's a snapshot of where all the planets are. So I definitely will be bookmarking this website and using it for further enlightenment. So I will leave you with a couple images of Niriti. You know, she has the power to destroy, but she's doing it for our benefit, right? That's the whole purpose. And she's got a bad rap for doing that. You know, nobody wants to have to go through that, to be ripped of everything material, you know, things that aren't here to grow you as, you know, a soul. Here's another image of Niriti. So we want to thank Goddess Kali, Niriti. Mad respect for you. You know, it's been a roller coaster for sure, and everything that was stripped away from me just made me realize what is truly important. I am not what I drive. I am not my job title. I am not my bank account balance. I am not the house, you know, the area code, zip code I live in. Those are not who I am. That's not my essence. So being stripped away of all those material possessions, everything that, you know, I was clinging to, that I thought made up who I am really are not who I am at all. So I really got to discover what was important and who I am. And the process was brutal, but making it through the storm on the other side, it's like the transformation of a butterfly. It's You're just a new creation. And my reverence to Goddess Kelly for everything she's done. We're going to be expecting a powerful time, uprooting in our life for spiritual growth. It's a time to find deepest truths. We got to research for ourselves and not just go with whatever, the lemmings are saying. We have to do our own research, and then run it by your intuition and your gut, your brain, your gut. Understand the foundations of our belief systems. What is important to us, It's back to basics. Embrace the destruction. View the destruction as a clearing the way for new creation and profound new beginnings. So here's to new beginnings. And December 19th, so much information I have received regarding this auspicious time, 3IATLAS, just everything I have looked into in regards to that has given me answers and a deeper understanding. And for that, I feel blessed and thankful. Also, thank you for watching.